Hello, my friends. It's Jeff Valdolin, and wanted to do a video on my article about what is education really teaching. And this one took me a long time to figure out. Actually, I didn't really even have a clue until about the last 4 or 5 years of my life that the educational system. It's not that they have a conspiracy or anything like that, but the educational system, the public education system, and the college education and stuff like that, they want to create employees, and there's a reason for that. The number one tax bracket, or the highest tax bracket paid, is employment tax. The second one is capital gains tax, and the third one is passive income is tax. And passive tax is obviously the lowest. Payroll tax is obviously the highest. So obviously the government wants to generate as many employees as they can, and also the wealthy have figured out how to play the tax game. So the educational system, there's a lot of things, and if you don't, I encourage you, don't believe a word I'm saying. I encourage you to read the book Think and Grow Rich, because Napoleon Hill really talks about how you could condense literally a PhD into 2 years. They have you go to college, they have you spend all this time with generals, things that you'll never use in your life. I mean, don't get me wrong, folks. I am totally for education. I went to college for 7 years. I got a Bachelor in Fine Arts. I learned some great things. But I spent a lot of money, and I spent 7 years of my life in something that I'm not even using now. And this is really what my passion is now, is internet marketing, speaking, and mentoring other people. And most of that, if not all of that, I have learned on my own. I've learned more in the last 3 or 4 years than I had from from I don't know how far back in school up until that point, because I got passionate about what I wanted to learn. I got passionate about what I wanted to teach, and because I was passionate about it, I devoured everything that I could get my hands on. So I just encourage you to do the exact same things. What you don't know is being used against you. In fact, be sure to check back on my blog, because I'm going to be writing a post specifically on that. The educational system, it's just like Hitler once said: "We will control the nation by the books that we let the books that we give to our students." And there's a lot of things that have changed, and what is put in those textbooks, a lot of things have changed. And friends, I don't need to tell you that we've got a lot of big problems in this country. And I believe a lot of it has to do with what kids are being taught in school today. And they're not being taught to empower. They're taught to not offend one another. They're not taught to have a backbone. They're not taught to be able to speak and give up their own opinion. And friends, I understand there's teachers out there too that are good teachers. This isn't, all inclusive, because there are good teachers out there and really make an impact in people's lives. In fact, I can remember a few teachers in my life that really they had a huge impact on my life, because they really took the time to help me acknowledge my talents and really help me move forward and give me confidence to go into the areas that I really had passion about, which is obviously art. So it's not all bad, but I just want you to be aware of that. Um, you know, Educate yourself. Start learning what's out there. Thomas Edison, I believe, dropped out of school at 9 months. Henry Ford dropped out of school when he was in third grade. You just start looking at not all of them, but a lot of the successful people. Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard. I mean, it doesn't take an incredible amount of education, college, scholastic education, to make a lot of money. It takes you how many years to get a PhD to be a doctor, and to be a medical doctor. I mean, I think it's 16 years and a horrific medical bill, and you don't even know what kind of career you're going to have afterwards. You've bought yourself a job. You went to school for this amount of time to get yourself a job, and a lot of the technology is moving so fast now that they don't even know if the jobs are going to be available when you graduate. So, but the thing that interests me, and this is a question I want to ask you, is people willing to spend 4, 6, 8, 12 years of their life and hundreds of thousands of dollars to pursue a career that they're not even really sure that they want to pursue, but yet they won't spend $1,500 to pursue a home-based business opportunity, or spend $1,500 with a mentor that will teach them and empower them and instill in them the tools that they really need to be successful. Because friends, it's not there's a big difference between IQ and EQ. And if you have not read the book Emotional Intelligence, I highly, highly recommend that you read that book because it really talks about having emotional intelligence. The guys that have the smartest IQ or the greatest IQ in the world, they really have not done a whole lot with their life because they don't know how to handle their emotions. They do not know how to interact with other people. It doesn't take an incredible amount of scholastic intelligence to become successful. You can go after anything that you want to do and you can become successful. The only thing that it really takes is a commitment to your success. And when I mean commitment, I mean the option to stop or fail or quit is not there. I'm going to do whatever it takes to succeed is really what it takes to make your dreams come true. So, you know, and life has an incredible wealth of knowledge. I love hanging out with people that are older than me because they have an incredible wealth of knowledge. Whether it's good, bad, or different doesn't matter. It's the fact that they've lived life longer than me and they can show me things to do and they can show me things not to do. And the educational institution does not teach that. They do not teach you how to have responsibility, how to have character, how to have integrity, how to have backbone. These are the things that are corrupting and making the infrastructure of our country go down is because kids don't have confidence anymore. Our morals of our countries have gone to the dogs. I can't remember if it's 40 or 45% of families are raised without a dad in the house. That is a tragedy. That is a tragedy because, I mean, the role that a dad plays in a child's life is phenomenal. And I don't even want to get into the rest of that, but, you know, there's a reason why there's supposed to be a dad and a reason there's supposed to be a mom. And each one of them, it's not one that's better or the other, it's just that they're different. And they both represent a different part in a child's life. 98% of men that are in prison were raised in a fatherless home. That is a fact, and that says it all. So that's what, you know, that's why it's important. And some of it has to do with what education is teaching. You know, it's not important to have, you know, the family values like it used to. It's you know, thinking that we come from a pond of scum or whatever. There's no responsibility. It's teaching people how to sue somebody, and rather than understanding that things happen, and it's just, so I just encourage you to educate yourself. Read books that empower you. Find out what you want to do. Go after it with all your heart. If there's anything that I can do, let me know. Leave a comment on the bottom. Be sure to subscribe to my video because I'm going to be coming up with some really great ones on showing you some strategies of how you can get rid of things, emotions, and thoughts that trap you from having success. Because I trust me, I've experienced them all and continually to discover new ones at different levels of my life. So thanks for watching this video. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.